It's 9:30 in the morning and it's freezing cold still. Check out my plants here, or my babies. Look, can you see the eyes there? Look at that. Look, we got eyes, ladies and gentlemen. I am on top of the ladder at the moment because I want to show you the plants that I keep on top of this shelf that's out in the element. I have a lot of different plants on top here. So we got stone crop sedum. This is so gorgeous. Andromiscus. I got agave. Some Echeveria. All of these have already been acclimatized, and that's why I put them on top. These are frost hardy plants. And in saying that, this one here, this is Variegata tuberculosa, and this is also Variegata tuberculosa, which is about to flower, and that one is a variegated one. This one I've grown actually in a little protected area, so now I just decided to put it here, and we've had minus 3.3 this morning, and so it suffered a little bit of frostbite, but it will still survive the winter frost. So that will stay here now to get stronger, just like these other ones. These ones I've already exposed this one for a couple of years, so has that one as well. So that one is about 1.5 years. This has seen its first winter under my care. I think it's doing well. Plus also that's a very frost hardy plant, so Variegata variegated or tiger jaws. Now the agave Paddy is quite frost hardy. That one is Crassula. Mother plant is very strong. This is actually a cutting that I took last year. This is the first winter that I'm exposing it to the element. It's being tortured at the moment. And then this one is an aloe. This aloe I've had for a few years, so it has seen its third winter now. So those Andromiscus, newly acquired. I only had them, except that one, I think I had it for a couple of years. But that one, I grown that one in sort of my protected area outside here, but still protected from the frost. So it has seen minus 10 in the shade. So this one, I've got this last year, it's already seen one winter. And winter here in Australia. So other parts of the world you've got different season, but for us it's winter, it's cold. This is Fredissima nominval. This one, the first plant I got, the crested form. So now this is actually a leaf that I've grown from that crested one. It's reverted back to its original form. So this is actually, now you see the little babies inside. I don't know if you can see that, but let's lift it up. Anyway, so I've got some cuttings that are crested. This one from a leaf, or grown from a leaf. So that's actually a 2-year-old plant. Now it's growing really quick and growing really fast. But anyway, so I'm gonna move on to the right hand side here. So I've got carpet, that's babies for this year, and that one is Paddy Peat Sedum, very, very frost hardy. So I'm just keeping it here so it will get some color, so, or ripen up, so it will go nice and red. Most of them in this container here are all, actually they're mostly Echeveria, apart from that ruby necklace in the corner there that I'm actually torturing to see if it can survive the winter frost. Seems like it's doing it with flying colors. There you go. So now let's get down from here. And this green aloe, I have killed a couple of them before because I did not acclimatize it. So this one, I only had this for a couple of years. So it has seen winter, but in the shade or in my protected zone over there. So under, I'll take you in that part later on and show you. See those shelves there? That's where I had it last year. But now this year, I've exposed it to the element, or mainly torturing it. So I'm keeping it here. So now it has seen minus 3.3. So now I think I better put this somewhere a little bit protected, because I can see a little bit of tearing, or you know, like tears as in wet tears, crying tears. So those little spots there, that's been hit by the frost, that surface there, but it's still all right. But then if we do get, say, -6, that will just melt away. So you've had enough torturing now, Mr. Juvena. I think Juvena, green, hang on, what are you called? There you go. Aloe. Juvena. So, ooh, dainty aloe. They have different names for these ones, but anyway. Now I'm going to put you in here, back, and I will put that somewhere over there inside my 50 UV zone. Now this one is Kalanchoe flapjack, Thyrsiflora. So I've got two types. One is Luciae. I'm just checking to see how soft. Hang on. Okay, I better get down here first. So this one is a Kalanchoe Thyrsiflora, and this one is Crassula Tom Thumb, and this is quite frost hardy. So these are all cuttings from one plant I've had, and I don't know where the mother is, somewhere around in the garden. But then I've done this arrangement so that to find out if that will survive this year's frost. In saying that, the Kalanchoe flapjack Luciae, the other one I've had for a couple of years. I'll show you where I'm keeping it right now. So this is out in the open, and the other one is, those are rocks from our trip. But anyway, so this one now, I've had this for about 3 years. Every year during the summer season and autumn, that would grow so big and so beautiful, and every winter it would get hit by the frost and sort of die back. But then come springtime it grows back again. But I'm just sick of trying to revive it all the time, so now I thought this year I'm going to protect you. It can handle up to -4. The minute you get -6, they start melting away. So anyway, this is Mr. Luciae, and also another one over here. So now I'll just, it's still sort of out in the open here, but it's protected because it's under there. The other one is over here. Okay, so different degree. Hang on, I'm just crossing over. Wait a minute. There you go. Different degree of exposure. This one here from the back, you can see. So I've got a fence. The fence is about 1.2 meter away from the edge of this metal shelf, and it's got protection from the top, and in the bottom is where she sits. Anyway, she's looking beautiful, so that's where I'm gonna keep her, along with that, I don't really know what that is, rat's tail or something like that, but that is growing like there's no tomorrow. So about 6 weeks ago it was only up to here, and that has actually grown, I don't know, about 4-6 inches. Really fast growing. I don't know what that is. Anyway, some sort of cactus, but anyway. This is my outside cactus exposed to the element area. So we've got Opuntia microdaisy that I had for a few years. I only started with a tiny little one, I think one small one with 2 bunny ears. But then now it's grown, and I've actually propagated it. So I've got another one in here. So it's time to be propagated this year. So I'm going to get a few cuttings this year come springtime. And this one is Serios peruvianus, which I actually acquired less than a year. But since it's already a mature plant, I thought I'd wing it and leave it out in the open. And it's doing well. So as this one, this is also a crested form of, hang on, what are you? Serios peruvianus as well. Yeah, monstrose. Serios monstrose. I reckon they're all the same plant. Anyway, I'll put that one there. Yep. And -3.3, handled it really well. I've got the Echeveria, which is just so gorgeous. Look at that color there. And also this funny looking I don't know, it's a tropical cactus, I'm sure, that one, but I bought it from the market last winter, so this is the second winter now, and it's having all this new growth up the top. And of course this is Pachyphytum compactum, which I am torturing. So 3 years, 2 winters, this is the third winter, and it was just so slow and boring, and now I put it out here because it was green, and then now it's got purple and lots of babies, and also this Crassula David, which is just so gorgeous, I think, with all the red tinge on it, or red coloration. I had this growing in the shade in previous years, and it was just that green color. But now look at that, it's not gorgeous? But anyway, so this cacti that I have here, I've had for a few years, so that's why I put them out here. Actually in summer was when I took them out. And then this one here, this is a, what are you called? Echeveria, rainbow burst. So anyway, that is actually 15 years old. That was given to me by a friend of mine, and now it's just, I'm almost tempted to just pluck out the babies, but then that would ruin the form, so I leave it as is. Now this euphorbia here, which is the Flanaganii, so that's the standard form, and this is the crested form. So that one there is exposed to the sun or exposed to the elements, so I know they don't mind the frost. My little Isabella has suffered the frost. Okay, this is Crassula. What are you? Okay, there you go. Crassula Pellucida Marginalis. Now the bottom part is still alright. So this is actually now a northwest facing. It doesn't get afternoon sun, it's only morning sun. That has a little bit of frost damage, if you can see there. That's actually, so there you go, check that out, see that weeping. Ooh. So it had too much water because we've had a rain. The secret to keeping the succulents hardy, I find, is that do not water them during winter, keep them dry, and they will be able to survive the frost better, because you need water to freeze up, and if they're dry, then there's nothing to freeze, really. That's what it is. So that's why if you stop watering your plant on the end of autumn, so last month of autumn, say May for us, March, April and May is autumn here in Australia, so I normally don't water my succulents or my plants. I stop watering them by the second week of May. But this year we've had so much rain, so now this one have had a lot of rain because it's out in the open here. It's forecast -2 tomorrow, and I've got some cutting somewhere anyway. But anyway, this one now, I will have to secure this actually, so I should really take this out. And if you have the same plant, I suggest you do the same. I've got some growing over there, and I think I'll just go and check, see how that fared. Okay, so this one here, look, it's still perfectly healthy. See, that one has been dry, so if I check the soil here, okay, are you, yes, it's fairly dry. So look at the soil, it's really dry, so I haven't watered it for a while. Even this tiny little cutting here is doing well. It's better than the other one, and even that one, see, look at that, check that out, see, no frost damage, no nothing. And there's more here. Oh, that's a different one. Okay, there's another one, there you go. So the secret is keeping it dry. And then now that one, I have to take you, unfortunately. I'm gonna keep you somewhere like in here. Okay, I'll just put you under there so you can stay there for now. Now in here, these are all my acclimatized plants. So I'm just gonna pan this across. This looks better when there's no sun, because I haven't got any shadows and things that would actually hide the beauty of this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful succulents. Anyway, so most of these now are at least a couple of years old, and other are older. But check out the colors. So these are all frost hardy, heat tolerant. So during this summer we had 42 degrees Celsius. I did not get a single plant that got sunburned, except for one, a Hercules, that I intentionally overwatered. So the night before, well, the forecast was 40 degrees the next day. So I thought, what if I just soak a plant or a pot in water and expose it to where it was, and sure enough, the next day it got sunburned. But the rest of these ones, they are still as gorgeous as ever. So I did not get frost damage, or did not get damaged by heat or frost. So this is what I want to do with my succulents, to be able to grow them so they can withstand the temperatures that we're getting here, or the conditions that we get here. Okay, so now over here in this corner, so I've got a hedge. And underneath I've actually cut them, or trim the bottom half of it, so probably about a meter, so I can grow all these succulents underneath, really protected from the frost. Anyway, so these ones now are just all babies growing here. More babies, and babies. These are 2-year-olds. These are the ones I'm torturing so I can put them in pretty pots. These ones now are all different ones. These babies here. So again, this one here now is sort of semi-protected. I've got the umbrella and this little shade cloth that I put over my hanging baskets here, so that it will protect all the little babies that I'm growing here. So this is only Mendoza. So I think Graptopetalum Mendoza, these ones. See that they're all nice and healthy. But this morning actually they got a little bit sickly looking because of the frost, but then they've recovered. And then in here is where I keep this Ionium. So I had in the past a lot, not a lot, but mature plants. I bought some mature plants, and I bought it in autumn, put it in the garden, hoping that they would survive the frost, even though despite the fact that I've covered them like overhead covering, they still died. So they don't really like the frost. They like the cold. They grow when it's cold, and they go dormant in summer, but still they died. So anyway, so these ones now are growing nicely. They're normally black. This one is a big aloe. Look at this one. I actually got this from the tropics last year. What are you called? There you go. Aloe laborana. This is fairly big, so I'm not even sure if that's actually the right name, but I just have to give it a name, or else I wouldn't know what I've got. Now, this fussy hairy one, this Tradescantia Montana, there you go. This one is a cutting, and I've grown it here. So now there's all these little babies popping out. This Ionium here, which I've killed a couple of them in the previous years, are growing here. This is Ionium domesticum variegata. And that one is Abbey Brook. I've killed an Abbey Brook before, so now Abbey Brook is going to be protected. So last year's I've put everything out. So now, this time, I've gone smarter and protect them. Now these ones now, they are all babies or cuttings that I've taken this springtime, and leaf that I've taken February last year. I am going to walk you through my covered zone. So this is still open to the element, where some parts still gets rained on. We've had some rain last night, so you can see that the ground is wet. So on these shelves are mostly frost hardy plants. Some are fairly new, like that opalina.